Welcome, welcome. Happy Monday, top of the week, y'all. Welcome, you guys. Come on in. As you come in, hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already, of course, and become a member. Become a member. So, we're going to talk about a couple of things, but we're going to talk about the Cardi B trial day one, which was today. So, I hope you guys tuned into that. But we're going to talk about it. So, come on in, hit the like on your way in. Let me know you're here. Give everybody a little bit to come in. Then we're just going to get started tonight. Been a couple of days, so I thought I better jump on here. Welcome, welcome everybody. Thank you for being here. Hey, Harlem. Welcome, welcome, welcome everybody. Did you guys see the trial that started today with Cardi B? Let me know what your thoughts are. We're going to talk about it. There's a couple of things going on. So, did you see it today, Harlem? This is one that everybody kind of just forgot about because it's been so long, but we caught it, so we're going to be covering it. I don't think it'll last too many days. There was a long list of witnesses, but I don't think, of course, all of them are not gonna, make the cut. So anyway, we'll get to that. So I see 5 people in here, and if you would hit the like button for me. We got 4 likes, so somebody's missing a like. I did, and I just happened to be working from home today, and you know how that is. So I was strolling. I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah." So it's been a minute, but we're gonna talk about it. I'll give everybody just a few more minutes, and we'll get started shortly. Oh, let me tell Latina. All right. So again, let's get started. Again, like I said, everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's been a couple of days. I've been missing y'all when I don't come live, but life be lifing, and sometimes it don't happen. So thank you for being here. Thank you for hitting the like as you came in. As I see, you guys are hitting the like when you come in, and I appreciate that because it keeps us in the algorithm. There's Bert. Hi, Berta. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. I missed you, Bert. And everybody else, you guys, thank y'all again. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is I'm not sure how the audio is going to be on this, but we're going to look at Little Nas X as he is in court today and see if we can hear it play. If not, we're definitely going to talk about it. So let's hear that as I put the link to the live in the chat for anybody that wants to come in. You can feel
This is Christine O'Connor.
That's correct, John.
And this is Garuti for the people. I would disclose to both sides. I believe I observed, as did thousands of others, what led up to his arrest. I did not observe the arrest. And apparently there was nothing filed on the events that of the defendant's actions prior to the police arrival. I just want both sides to know that. So, Mr. Hill, you have a right to a speedy preliminary hearing within 10 court days of today, 60 calendar days. You understand and give up that right to your case to be set for preliminary hearing setting on September 15th with the understanding that any preliminary hearing occurred within 10 court days of that day?
Yes.
Okay, compelled to answer will go to Judge Brandolino and Department of
I don't really think that you could hear everything, but if you put the disclosure up, because we are going to be, I don't think we have another video though. So anyway, this is Little Nas at court today. I really couldn't hear everything they were saying, but at the end of the day, what we have learned is that he is facing 4 felony counts, 3 of which are, let me see, 3 of which are battery with injury to an officer. I'd like to see that. We still haven't seen any videos on that, no body cam or nothing that's saying that he injured 3 police officers. So he has 3 counts of battery with injury allegedly on an officer, and then he has 1 count of resisting an executive officer. So whatever that means. Again, listen, we haven't seen any videos of him lunging at a police, but yet we can see all the video of him walking down the strip butt naked in San Bernardino, California. And we haven't seen how he was arrested. Did they rough him up? Like, we haven't got any of that. So maybe in the days to come, we will see that. Nevertheless, his bond is $75,000, which he has made bond today. We did get video of him coming out. Yes, he was totally naked when they saw him. And what's so funny about that is there is no indecent exposure charge that I'm finding on him at this point. So I'm really not sure. What I think is going on is and this is no judgment, but when we see, his mom on camera and the way that she, it has portrayed herself on the camera, maybe there's just some mental health that's going on, within the family. Something may have happened. I don't know. This is all alleged, but what I do know is that they did detain him and charge him with these. But upon release, the judge has ordered him to stay away from drugs, to find somewhere to get help. So they notice the judge has realized that there is maybe some mental stuff going on, and then he has to come back to court. So he has pled not guilty to the charges. I'm hoping that, I don't think that he will go to prison. He's looking, sources are saying he's looking up to 18 years in prison. But when you assault a police officer, that is a very heavy charge, and they take that seriously. So hopefully his representation that he gets will represent him well and get him the help that he needs. They always want to be so quick to throw people in prison, throw them in jail, lock the key, throw them in jail, lock the door, throw the key away, and forget about them. But that does not help someone that needs a different kind of help, if you guys know what I mean. Like, some people, it's really a mental breakdown, it's really depression, anxiety, and it's really, if they got the help, probably wouldn't be in the situation that they're in. So I hope that they really look at that for him, and we just wish him the best on that. So that is him again, as he is in court today. And then since then, he has been released. We saw him getting into a Jeep and taking off. So he did not respond to the reporters that were there when he came out. He just got in, acting like a normal person, and got in the car and walked away and drove away. Yeah, he had to be, Alberta, on something at that point, to be walking the streets unclothed totally, except for some white cowboy boots. And I feel sorry for him. I really do. And I just hope the best for him, and that, again, they get him the help that he needs. So that is Lil Nas X. Before we get to the Cardi B thing, also, I wanted to talk a little bit about, I don't know how, like, I'm not really in tune to football per se until it's the last game. What do you call it? The Super Bowl? And my husband is, but I'm not, right? And I kind of watch sometimes, kind of glance sometimes, but I'm really interested in the fact that Shador and Shiloh and the way that they're being treated. So if you guys saw, and let's just look at it. Let's just take a look. So we know Deion Sanders. We know his demeanor. We know how he acts. And it's just a shame that I feel, I could be wrong, y'all, but I feel like they are catching the heat because of their father. And I'm going to try to get, if I got that video on, I think I can get this one on too. Yes, he was. He was. And I want to show it. So let me get it up here if I can. Because I was in my feelings about that. I'm like, how do you say he's just out? When like anybody that was done the way he was done, you're gonna tell me, oh, there it is right there. I'm gonna try to get it on our Harlem, will you put the disclosure up for me, please? Can you do it really quick? I probably should save it. Oh shoot, they saying it's too long. So I'll just show it this way. Now, what I'm showing is that we'll start with Shiloh, then we'll go to his brother. All right. So first of all, let's watch it first, and then we can talk about it because I am definitely in my feelings about it. But here we go. I'm going to show it this way, okay? Because it's saying it's too large for me to email it and put it up. But I'm sure there's a way. I just haven't done that. I don't want to put y'all on hold. Let me start it over.
Throw a punch.
Here we go.
Well past the whistle here. And I got to be honest, I understand. I'm going to pause it right here. Certain that you are about this play, you can't do this. Watch it. She's just going to throw a punch to Zach Davidson, the tight end. I'll show this angle. You can really see. I mean, it's full on, you smack punch, whatever you want to call it. That's just an automatic ejection. No matter what happens, that's an automatic ejection. Even saw one of his teammates coming over trying to, sort of say, what are you doing? And that, Sanders kind of shoved him off of him. So either way, clearly some frustration built up from Shiloh. And again, I feel for him. Like, he's trying to make a team. This might be his last opportunity to really make a team. You can't help it. Well past the whistle here. And I got to be honest, I understand. I'm going to pause it right here. Sure as you are about this play, you can't do this. Watch it. She's just going to throw a punch to Zach Davidson.
All right. Let's talk about this. All right, so let's talk about this. He was, so he's trying out to make a team, right? This is Shiloh Sanders. And this player, if I feel like they're just being targeted, it just might be me. But this player, just even after the play had been called, Shiloh's still down there struggling, trying to get this man off of him. And if you can see, Shiloh's here, this man is up here, right? They're like this. And Shiloh continues to try to get away from him even after the whistle's blown. So he pushes him and he kept being aggressive with him. Shiloh was all, no. And that's when he swung at him. I get it. I get it. You have to, there's a certain way you have to act on the field. I get that. But also that rule is for everybody. That rule is for everybody because he did hit Shiloh too. So then they say, well, Shiloh is out. He's gone, right? And this may be his only chance. And even if you hear this commentator here, he's like, you just can't do this. But what about what he was doing to Shiloh, right? So his Deion has responded, and he was like, Shiloh gonna be all right. It's just is what it is. He's not worried. He's gonna be all right. And what I'm hearing before I came on live is that someone did not waste time on Shiloh, and he still is going to have an opportunity. And I hope that's just the truth. I'm going to check it out after I go live. So Harlem, you up here? I'm not sure if you saw that. Like, what did it look like to you?
Yeah, because I said that it looked like the other guy, the other player, was pushing him or pulled his helmet or something. I just couldn't tell from the video because I was trying to blow it up when they first put it up so I could see it. But he invaded his personal space first.
He did, and look. That's after he was doing him the way he did him.
Yeah.
And he pushed his helmet and everything. Like he pushed his helmet. Like, I get it that you can't resort to that, but what was he supposed to do? Like, I guess walk away. I don't know, but anyway, that was just my opinion. That's how I felt about it. You know, they've been struggling ever since they've been aiming to get in the NFL because they are very talented boys. Their dad taught them well, and so I believe they deserve a fair chance, just like everybody else, regardless of what daddy did, regardless how you feel about him. It doesn't matter. And so I really hope that it is true what they said about him getting another opportunity that quick. People know talent when they see it. And if if the coaches want to keep their jobs and build a strong team, it's those two boys that they can't carry the whole team. They're not, I mean, they are talented, but there's somebody you want to look at. So then we talk about Shedeur. Shedeur had a preseason game, thought he was going to get more. Y'all know he's good. He's a good quarterback. Thought he was going to get more play time. They snatched him out of the game, right? What Shedeur did say, and I tip my hat to him, is he said, it's okay. He said, that's all right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to learn this preseason thing. I'm going to learn to be better, and I'm going to get better and do better. So it's okay because he did get to shine. But I'm telling you, they are going to eat this season, and they're going to show the people why they are candidates for the NFL. So I just wanted to share that because I didn't think I was the only one that felt like this man is all over Shiloh. Shiloh's struggling to stand up, and then he caught himself, was like, hold on, get up off of me. You know, and by that time he was already heated. In the video, you see one of his team members trying to run to get to him to stop him from fighting. And then one did get to him. He kind of pushed him off. He already mad by now, right? So they snatched him off, and we'll see what happens from there. But I wish them the best as well, the best of luck as well.
But even so, what happens to the other guy, to the other player?
And I have heard nothing.
Because he was doing the pushing and what have you after the call or whatever. I don't know what was going on.
That's right. After the call was made, the whistle is blown. You still over there trying to stop him? You still got your hands on him and you pushing his helmet. Like, and he's struggling, like, get off me. The whistle has blown.
Yeah, so what happens to him for initiating it?
That's it. That's and I have seen nothing about
nothing.
Bothers me. Are you sick, Carla?
Yeah, I got a cold I'm trying to get rid of.
Oh, my grandbaby's mom is too. All right. I want to talk about this really quick before we get to Cardi B. I know I said just Cardi B, but it's stuff to talk about. I had to catch us up. If I can find it. Where is it? Anyway, we could just talk about it. So, comedian Reggie Carroll was unalived in Mississippi. He was out on tour with Cat Williams, and he was unalived. If y'all don't know who he is a comedian who built his loyal following on Instagram and stand-up performances in his own Reggie Carroll comedy club. And he's from Baltimore, and he's well known in the comic world. And so he was tragically unalived by a pow in Mississippi on tour. We haven't heard from Cat Williams still as of today, but he did put the tour on hold indefinitely. And police are saying that in Mississippi, crime has gone way up lately. And so they're still investigating. They don't know if this was intentional or if he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. We don't have any information on that, but it's just sad that he's out doing his thing, on tour, and abruptly is no longer with us. So I feel sorry for Cat Williams too. He's part of the show, right? And so they just shut the show down. We are like waiting to see if Cat will say anything about it, but he has not spoken yet. And so we just send our prayers and well wishes to Reggie Carroll's family. I'm not sure if he had kids or anything like that, but this happened a few days ago. So I wanted to share that. All right, so let's get to Cardi B. Cardi B is in court once again, and I believe once again, my opinion so far, we only were able to hear like from one witness, and that's the audio. It was just real bad today, but we were able to read. So just some, we were able to see it and hear some things. So basically, Cardi B is on trial. It's a civil trial, so nothing has to be proven above reasonable doubt, right? But it could be like 49%, they feel 49% Cardi's right and 40% the girl's right. So Cardi, nobody gets nothing, Cardi wins. But in this case, I think that Cardi's got a slam dunk. And I'm just gonna tell you because there were so many consistencies with this girl. So let me just tell you a little bit about this. This happened about 7 years ago, February 24th in 2018. There was an incident at a Beverly Hills medical building. So back then, Cardi was pregnant with Culture, and it was a Saturday, and she had a Saturday appointment because she's Cardi B, right? She's not gonna go in there when the office is full, and full of people. But it was time for one of her appointments, and it was on a Saturday. And this young lady named Imani Ellis was the security guard in the building. And Cardi is being accused of assaulting and verbally abusing this security guard. And it led to this lawsuit. Cardi B denies these claims, asserting she was the victim of Ellis attempting to film her. When she saw Cardi B, she picked up her phone, and Cardi B is saying she started letting people know that she was in the building, the whole point of her coming on Saturday was to avoid that kind of attention, get in to see her doctor and get out. A civil trial for the assault and battery has begun today, day one. But something to note is that with this trial, the ruling, it could be there is limited evidence that this Miss Ellis has that is not even going to be brought. Also, Cardi B already got a win from the judge because the judge was like, we're not going to be there. There's going to be no evidence brought in with Cardi B's past run-ins, with the laws or anything else. So this is not the microphone thing. People were thinking it was the microphone that she threw at she hasn't even nothing's happened with that. I don't know if something's getting ready to happen with that, but this ain't that. This is something that happened in 2018 as well. So Imani was a security guard and alleges Cardi B physically attacked her, spit on her, and used her long nails to scratch her. Ellis claims that the altercation resulted in injuries to her that required plastic surgery due to scratches from Cardi B's fingernail. So they asked her, did you get scratched? Where did you get scratched? She said, on my nose and my cheek. Did you start bleeding? It broke the skin. If it broke the skin, you needed plastic surgery. That's first of all. You needed plastic surgery because it broke the skin, wasn't like bleeding profusely. And then on your cheek, it didn't even do nothing. It just scratched you. And so also Cardi Denise, okay, so the lawsuit was filed by her in early 2020. So they were asking her, so it happened on February the 24th. You were at work in 2018. Did y'all, hey, Galactic Barbie, welcome back. Good to see you. So they said, when this incident happened, what did you do immediately after that? Immediately after that, she said she went home and took a nap. She was tired and exhausted from what had happened. During the little altercation in the medical building where Cardi entered the building, there was a alleged physical altercation where the receptionist at the gynecologist came out and got in between them. And Miss Ellis tried to reach out to that gynecologist to have her to come as a witness. And she said, no, she absolutely would not be there. So what we're thinking is that she may be a witness for Cardi if Cardi has to have a witness brought in. But anyway, so she just went home immediately. Now she's really close to her grandmother who lived in, I think, Las Vegas. And so she would talk to her grandma a lot. And she said her grandma saw the scratches, but she didn't immediately call her grandma. She said when she did make a call 10 minutes later, she made this call to her mother. But she's like, they were asking, well, did you take pictures? In her initial interview, a while back, not today, but a while back in the disposition, she was interviewed and she said that she did take pictures, but she no longer has, but she said she did have pictures, but she no longer has that phone. Like there is no pictures to be found with her scars and bruises. So there was not even a phone for them to take and have them to do forensics on because there's no phone. Right. But she did take the pictures. And she said she didn't, then she said today she didn't take pictures because she didn't know that she was going to have this lawsuit. The lawsuit was filed 2 years later. And so what happened is after she went to the doctor, so let me just read my notes so I don't get it wrong. July 2025, judge made several rulings in Cardi B's favor. That first of all, it would be a split trial. So there will be two phases of this trial. There will be a liability. Who's liable for this, right? Cardi B or her or not. And there would also be one for damages, if any damages can be proved that damages were caused. They excluded evidence, as I was saying, is the jurors will not be allowed to hear about Cardi's past as a stripper, nothing that went on with her as a stripper or previous legal troubles. And that was a win for Cardi because, in 2018 compared to Cardi 2025 today, yeah, Cardi's rowdy. She's rowdy, right? But she's more calm than she was in 2018. 2018, she would raise the roof, right? 2025, she's a little bit more calm. So then they were asking the Miss Ellis, she said they were talking about where the scars was. She said there were scars on her left cheek. And she had to have plastic surgery that cost $15,000. She said the doctor that treated her put a lien against her on the basis that regardless of if she wins in this court or not, that she still is going to be responsible for paying that doctor $15,000. Now, people were saying, well, the doctor should be sued for even doing it off of a scratch on the nose, but the plastic surgeon, you come in there and you want it done, you got the money, they gonna do it. It don't matter. I'll give you plastic surgery. That's what my profession is. So it didn't matter. But anyway, the doctor treated her. And then she then went to a pain management doctor. And this was in 8/22 to 9/23. And she said, did you see a psychologist? And she said, yes. And she said, that's what she said, the total amount of her bills from every medical professional that she saw, it totaled up to $36,000. And she said, did you know that that's what it was going to cost? And she was like, I don't know. I don't recall. She did a lot of I don't recalls and I don't know during her testimony. And they was like, well, what do you mean you don't know? Did a bill come to your house? I think so. So there was a lot of inconsistencies with her. And she just didn't remember stuff, but she remembered the stuff she needed to remember. She said, do you still suffer today from your injuries? And she said, yes, she still suffers. She does not take any medication. She doesn't drink alcohol. And the expectations from her was to be the security that day. Like she wasn't intending for this to happen to her. She said she was deeply traumatized by the situation. She was deeply traumatized. And they said, what was some of the things that Cardi was saying to you? And she said, well, excuse my language. She was saying, what the F, you picking up the phone trying to record me and taking pictures of me or whatever. And she said Cardi B pointed her at her nose, pointing her nose. And that's when she was like, stop pointing your finger in my face. And somehow Cardi cut her nose. And she said she suffers from anxiety, depression, PTSD, or however you say that. And there's a scar on her face. And they said, have you ever had a scar on your face before? And she's like, I've never had a scar on my face before, but I had to, and at this, because of this altercation, I had to have the plastic surgery done. She said she was calling her the N-word. She spit on her. She did harm to her body, but there's no medical records in any medical record, any report that she has does not show that there was any scar, like there was any mention of like bodily harm. Hey, beauty, is me. No mention of bodily harm, only that she pointed her finger in her face and scratched her nose. That's all she ever reported. She never even reported the anxiety, depression, PTSD, none of that. And so she said, and on top of that, Cardi B has never apologized to me, never even tried to apologize to me. So that, I guess, made her upset. So she also said that she was there to work. Hey, Montana, that she was there to work and that she was one of their best workers. And then it comes out, she gets fired from the job, their best workers. So Cardi B's lawyer is on top of that. So you're the best lawyer, you're one of the best workers they have, and yet you got fired. So she got fired for whatever reasons. She said, do you know, they asked her, they said, do you know for a fact that Cardi B was going for a medical appointment? She said, I know she was going for some kind of appointment, but you're in a medical building where only medical things happen and you didn't know she was there. But earlier on in your disposition, you said, yes, she knew Cardi B was going for a medical appointment. So there's where the inconsistency is. And he was like, okay, because I'm going to run it. I'm going to play the video. And he played the video. He said, in that report, which is right, in that report, was there anything about anxiety, anything about bodily harm? And she was like, I don't know. It's in the report. She said, the report's right in front of you. Read it. And she was just like, kind of looking over. She's like, okay. And he was like, well, what does okay mean? She said, well, I don't agree with what you're saying, but okay, for the purposes of your question. So like now she's feeling like, dang, I don't have my I's dotted and my T's crossed. So on 2/24/18, she did a incident report. The discovery request under oath, she said, what was the discovery requested or discovered under oath? And she said, I'm not sure. And she said, but you made statements in the document. Isn't that true? And she said, yes. You stated you don't, on page 5 and 6, you don't have an email. And she said, I'm not sure. Related to the emails, you in this report, it said that you said you don't have an email and you don't know the email. She's like, I don't remember. I don't recall. Yes, that's correct. Like she knew that this was like not right. So she was like verifying it under oath. I already said that. She said that you never produced an email, but in fact, because she was at work, she filed a work comp claim. And the lawyer was like, oh, so you filed a work comp claim against the job, the company, not against Cardi B, right? She was like, yeah. And she said, in that claim, you don't mention the bodily harm or anything. And she was like, I don't know. Yeah, I guess correct. She was just all over. She was just not responding. And she said, so he's like, well, here's the email. You did produce the email. Do you recall what you said in the email? She said, I don't recall. I don't even recall when I sent it. He said, well, here's the proof. Here's when you sent it. This is what it said. And she said, let's see. She was on the 5th floor. She was a security guard. Oh, she was like, they was like, hit her, her lawyer was like, isn't it true that you wanted to be a police officer from a security guard to a police officer? And she said, yeah, I did. And he said, isn't it true that you no longer want to be a police officer? And she said, no. And he was like, well, why is that? Because of this, what happened? This right here that happened made me not want it. It gave me PTSD. I don't want to be a police officer anymore. It just really don't make sense, but we'll keep going. And then she said there was he said on the cell. So she was trying to say that my situation, Harlem, dig deep in your pockets and pay it forward. $5 fine. Montana is me, y'all late. $5 fine. All right. So let me move on. So where we're at with this and what people are saying, and you should have seen the comments, is that the plaintiff is really like, because she don't have enough, she's not really coming with enough evidence, like she don't really remember stuff, she don't recall stuff. Is she out just to get money and a 10 minutes of fame that says she was in court with Cardi B? She said she was excited when she saw Cardi B to see that was her. And they was like, what did you say when you saw her? And she said, oh my God, there's Cardi B. Is that her? That's Cardi B. And they was like, who was you talking to? And she's like, I was talking to myself. And that's when she picked up the phone. But she said she never called anybody to say Cardi B was in the building, yet the phone is missing. So they can't do forensics on it to prove what she's saying. So she never ever filed criminal charges. So if you spit on somebody, that's like assault. And she never filed criminal charges. And then it said, she said she wasn't taking pictures of Cardi B, but yet in fact she said she did have pictures. She said that Cardi B was saying, why the F you taking photos of me? And she said, I didn't. And she said, yes, you did. And started pointing her. And she was just like, she's a fan and she's just really out for money. They said, have you ever been to a Cardi B concert? She said, well, I did have tickets to go to a concert back then. She said, but I never went because this incident happened. And then she said, talking about when she was born, how many siblings she had. Does she see her grandma on a regular basis? She said yes. What else did they say? She was hired on as a security for 4 years, took photos of Cardi B. Yeah. She said, about what time did Cardi B come into? Yes, I'm with you, Montana. I think she is. What time did all this altercation happen? And she said, oh, it was approximately 13:30 hours, which is at 1:30 p.m. And she said, so what a lawyer was on there, and the lawyer was saying how Cardi B can really shut this down is if she has her check-in sheet where she logged in or signed in for the doctor and see what time she signed in. That could also shut this girl down as well if the time is different. And she was like, did you ever think you were going to sue a Cardi B? No, I never thought I would sue her. But what happened is when she filed that small claims court, that work comp claim, somebody must have got in her ear and said, hey, you can do a civil claim or whatever. And so she ended up filing. Let's see. They said, did you ever testify that there was no scar on your face? And she's like, I'm not sure. So she had the disposition and she was like, I'm not sure. And what side of your cheek was it? She said, on the left side. And then she said, she was scratched on her nose. There was a long scratch on it. She touched her 2 times, scratched her nose, struck her body, but she don't recall where on her body or if she even mentioned that Cardi struck her body. She kept she said, all I reported is she kept putting her finger in my face and that her long 3-inch nails scratched my face and broke the skin. But you never said in your report that she struck your body. And she's like, not on my body. I'm like, what? So it's all crazy. 2 days later, okay, let's see. Broke the skin, didn't know if it was blood. didn't see a doctor. She said, didn't you see a doctor after the incident? She said, no, went home and took a nap. Didn't take pics of the injury. We already said that. They lost the phone, so they can't do forensics on it. Didn't take pics, didn't know what was going, didn't know okay, that's all we done. Said, I don't know where the pictures are. I can't find them. Ended up being fired. After she was fired, didn't you get another job making more money than you're making on that job? She said, yes, she did. And then that was the June 2023. She had, in June 2023, she said she had severe PTSD. January 25th, 2021. No report. They said there was a whole 161 page report. And now on one of those pages, did you say she struck your body? Did you say that you had PTSD? Did you say that you had anxiety and depression? Nowhere in those 161 pages did you say that. All that you said was there was a scratch on your nose. She started getting really uncomfortable. And so after that, the judge said, this is a good time to take a break. You know, they're in California. So it was about 4 something when they took a break, and we never got the audio to work or come back on. What we did find out is that tomorrow at 12 o'clock Pacific time, which is California time, Cardi B will be taking this. The trial will start back up tomorrow, and Cardi will be taking the stand. So Cardi is going to take the stand in this trial as well, just like she did with Tasha K. She did really well on the Tasha K when she took the stand, and a lot of people was like, well, your representation should tell you to never take the stand. But in this instance, for a civil trial, you would want for your lawyer for your client to tell their side of the story. And if Cardi B has been, instructioned well, and how she knows how to be on the stand anyway, then she'll be fine. She'll do fine on the stand. So she's slated to stand, to get on the stand tomorrow and testify on her behalf. And so that's all we got for today. But with just that, she was all over the place. She didn't remember half of the stuff they were asking her. She didn't recall, or she didn't remember until they brought the videos up. And she's like, oh, well, I guess I did, kind of nonchalant. And then they was like, oh, you don't remember, but there's the report right in front of you. Read that report right there. And what does it say? Can you find anything in there? And she was like, well, no. And she said, no, okay, whatever. And she said, and she was just like, well, okay. So once she saw that Cardi's lawyer was getting in that butt, she was just kind of getting like a little offensive in that what he was saying, and he was calling her out and then playing videos or showing her the reports to what he was saying was true, and what she was saying, you ain't being all the way honest. Do you know that he said, did you know that you were testifying under oath? So you have to tell the truth under oath. She said she understood that or whatever. So at this point, I'm kind of with Montana. I feel like this will be a pretty quick trial. I feel like Cardi B, the reason I'm glad she picked this one the way it's going is because this gets to show that Cardi is not always the aggressor in things, right? Because that's the rap she takes. Cardi B's like, you threw the mic at somebody, you did this, you did that, you cut somebody out, you had somebody beat up, but this will show that she wasn't the aggressor if she can prove that. And it's seeming like that they have a pretty strong case in, with this. But that remains to be seen. There was a 4 pages of witnesses. All those witnesses obviously will not be called to testify, but it'll be interesting to see what other people had to say, because really there was nobody in the lobby when the fight took place. The people in the gynecologist's office heard the rumble, heard the ruckus, and ran out there, and the lady got in between them. And they're saying, well, she put her hands on Cardi. Cardi was pregnant. Couldn't Cardi B press charges on her? Cardi B probably just didn't want to be bothered with it. It was just like, leave me alone already. Cardi B already don't like being in the forefront of things like that. Like when she first became Cardi B, she was like, "Ooh, I just can't get used to this." But I think that this will show her in a light that she's not really always the aggressor. Like she just feels like the majority feels like this girl is just she finally decided to file the press charges against Cardi because probably some people was talking to her along the way, but yet your evidence does not prove what you're here trying to say. At least not today. It didn't. This is just day one to her defense. This is just day one. So we'll see what's to come from that. So what do you guys think? The link is in the chat. Let's talk about it. Let me see what y'all are saying in the chat. If that lady can, what are you saying, Montana? If that lady can sue for a scratch on her nose, that means Harlem can. Oh, Montana. Harlem,
Montana is so messy.
so messy. I thought he was really saying something. But what do you think about that? Like everything that I was able to take notes on, it's kind of hard, getting everything, but I got the majority of what we were able to see today to show that, my opinion, Cardi B's on the right road so far.
So you said Cardi B in what was it, 2018, and Cardi B now?
Yeah.
That it's a difference.
I think
Yeah.
I think she's grown.
Yeah, but the 2018 when that happened,
Was
yeah,
not.
Cardi B would have went off on a girl like that. I
So
feel.
yeah, I agree with you. And let me tell you now, because we're talking about 2018. Yes, she was rowdy. She was about it. She would do whatever. So when the girl said Cardi cussed her out, I believe that. I'm not saying that I don't believe like this happened. I'm saying the girl don't have. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that the girl can't prove that there was bodily, that she struck her body, that she scratched her nose to the point she had to have plastic surgery. You're absolutely right, Harlem. 2018, the 2018 Cardi coming off of Love and Hip Hop. Yeah, she was routed, and then she had to get to where she is in 2025. So you can see that happening. For sure, when she's pregnant with, and she big and pregnant, but she was like, I can see her saying what the girl said she said. But I guess where I'm at, and why I think that Cardi could, maybe this is a slam dunk, is because the girl just didn't have the evidence, and she can't remember anything. She can't recall a lot of stuff. So did it happen? So
Yeah, if she doesn't have any evidence, yeah. But because even the plastic surgery, what did you say, $36,000 just for a scratch on her nose and her cheek?
No, the plastic surgery. So she's seen a psychologist, a plastic surgeon, a this, a that, and all of it came up
Oh,
to 30.
everything is at 36,000. Okay, I thought it was the plastic surgery. I was about to say, I think that's a bit extreme.
Yeah, the plastic surgery was 15,000, so half of that almost 15,000, and the doctor allowed her to put a link they put a lien that said it doesn't matter what turn. So what she told me, she did have a conversation with this plastic surgeon saying, I got a lawsuit against Cardi B and I could probably get money so I can pay you, because what they did is they allowed her to set up a payment plan. And so the doctor said, regardless whether you win or not, you're under this. They signed paperwork that said that whether you win or lose, you still are obligated to pay me this $15,000. So altogether, the bills were 30, and then she's the plastic, a scratch on the nose that only just kind of broke the skin. Like, come on, plastic surgery for that?
Yeah, because then my other thing was the girl was doing security in the building. So the building, they didn't have like any kind of security cameras.
So that's where we are too. They didn't mention any cameras today. That's why I said it's day one. But they didn't, it was in the lobby. And for me, in 2018 would have had cameras, right? You would think that. So that's where we're like, okay, did anybody subpoena the camera, the footage. Was it any footage? They said there was nobody there to prove what had happened except for the lady that came out from the gynecologist. And by that time, the lady took the hits. Whoever was swinging, she just got in the middle of it, right? So I don't know. The question was not posed about the cameras today, at least what we were able to see, because it did black out. But I mean, we saw a majority of it, and there was nothing about the cameras in the hallway or in the lobby part of it where security was. It was a Saturday, and they called her in to work that day. And they was like, why? Because you were one of their best workers, maybe, you know, whatever, but she still got fired. But as far as cameras, don't know yet.
Yeah, because my thing is, I didn't catch up on the whole thing. I have to go back and catch up on it. But the girl, she looked like she may have been a young girl at that time,
Yeah, because
and
she looked
I'm,
young. I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna say she was black. I just can't see somebody. I don't care who it is spitting on me, and I don't have a reaction.
Yeah, that's an automatic reaction, right? I get that. That's what I'm saying. And you know, Cardi B, I mean, she might have done that. So, and your first reaction is y'all gonna get, nobody's gonna. I'm like, you're not gonna spit on me, and it ain't gonna be a reaction, right? And that's why the altercation. Well, that's what she's saying. That's why the altercation. Cardi came at her because she was said at first she was excited that this is Cardi B's sister. You know, it's Cardi B. It is, and picked her phone up. Well, Cardi saw her pick her phone up. She was like, "You trying to F and take?" And you know, at 2018, she probably did. You trying to
Yeah,
her N-word and B's and everything else, right? And she said, then she got pointing her finger in her face, and she was like, "Get your hand out." And that's probably where the contact was made, and they started having. And she said she spit on her, but she never reported any other reports. So
yeah. That's why I'm wondering if it was cameras or something to catch it, because I just can't see a young black girl allowing anybody to spit on them. Just me. I mean, unless she's like,
yeah,
this was in California though.
yeah, this was in California, Beverly Hills. They said that Cardi B is saying that she was the victim, that she was not the aggressor here, that she was traumatized. Like, I'm pregnant, and but we just need some cameras if the footage will show it, right? If they have it. Again, we haven't heard about cameras yet. So that's it. And so I also would be interested in knowing the lady that came out of the gynecologist, at the reception, like what did she see? I know what they heard, a bunch of screaming, but what did you see? And so whenever Miss Ellis went to ask her to testify, be a witness for her, she told her no. So I don't know if that meant she's going to testify on Cardi's behalf or what, but they're saying there was really nobody that saw it, and that what really helped them is to have the phones that are now missing in action from 2018, though, of course. Seemed like that lady trying to run up a doctor bill to help her lawsuit. It seemed like it. That's what it seems like. She said she went to a psychologist. She went to, I don't know why Montana haven't hit the link yet. Went to a psychologist, went to the plastic surgeon. It was something else because she had pain too. So pain management or something like that. I can't remember. But yeah, she was racking up some bills. But for a plastic surgeon to say, "I will put you on this payment plan," whether you win a lawsuit or not, she talked to her about who she was had a lawsuit with. Of course, I'm sure she said it's Cardi B. And so that's what made me also think, like, is she out for her 10 minutes of fame and and a little change in her pocket? And then they're saying, well, then why come Cardi B wouldn't just go ahead, give her $50,000, $100,000 and let her walk? And I think Cardi's point is because I need to prove that I'm not the aggressor this time. I don't know. I don't really know. She didn't say that though.
She was the aggressor. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we'll see. It remains to be seen, but I know that it went down. It definitely went down in there, especially in 2018. She was just coming off of Love and Hip Hop, not too far after that or before that.
Right.
Yeah,
Where did you watch it? You watched it live stream?
live stream. I watched it on Court TV with Court TV.
Oh, okay. I'll have to go there to see them.
Court TV and watch what happened today. And then tomorrow at 12 noon they'll be back. And then Cardi is supposed to be testifying tomorrow, getting on the stand tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I have to go look at it.
yeah. Cardi was in court. She was sitting there doing what she's supposed to do. I mean, she looks really pretty, like always, but we'll see what she has to say tomorrow. Her lawyers was eating Miss Ellis up, though. I felt sorry for her. But that's what happens when you get cross-examined by the lawyer. You know you got to be prepared for it. You got to be prepared because they're gonna make you look crazy. They made her look so crazy, and that could have been her nervous. You know, she could have just been nervous. But we'll see more tomorrow. If I left anything out tonight when you go watch it, Harlem, kind of take notes so we can talk about it.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. So that's really what I had today. I wanted to really start that. We're going to follow Cardi B's lawsuit. We are hearing that the judge has, I don't want to talk too much on Diddy's and the judge stuff today because I didn't really get to do my little research on what they're talking about. Some with the jurors or something. I don't know, but I will talk about that tomorrow. We will come back and talk about that tomorrow.
Oh, I ain't hear about that. I gotta go look and see.
Yeah, look at that too. So we'll be able to talk about that together. And then what else did I have? I heard this. Do I believe it or not? I don't know. They've been saying it for a minute, a week or two now, that Swiss Beats has another child and Alicia is contemplating divorce because of this child. But I don't know if that's true. I don't know if I believe that. That he would sacrifice his marriage for that. But what they did say is when Alicia Keys got with Swiss, he was with his other wife, with his ex-wife, and got Alicia pregnant. And so now this other person pregnant while he's married to Alicia. And all this is alleged is just what they're saying. We'll see more about that, but I don't know if Swiss would do that. I don't know if that's a thing. I don't know if that's a thing, calling it a thing. I don't know. So, did you see actor Shamar Moore? Someone is, did you see that?
No, I didn't see that. What happened with him?
He's in most of Tyler Perry movies. He's a great actor, but somebody is threatening his family and saying that if you come outside, you better not come outside. I'm going to unalive you. He came on there and he said he showed the text messages of someone coming for his family, speaking of literally unaliving them. He said he has spoken with the DA. He's spoken with police officers. He's spoken with other people, private investigators, and he will find out who this is and he's going to shut it down. He said, one thing we don't do is play. He said, I don't come on here like this. He said, but playing with my family and their lives, and for what reason, we will find out who you are. So he got everybody on it. We don't know why, what has happened. And he's like in the dark, like, why are you coming for my family and my kids? His daughter. So that's kind of crazy.
So is it like a stalker, a fan, a obsessed fan or something?
That's what he's thinking. That's what they're thinking. They don't know. But he put the little messages up that showed where they were saying that. Like you let me see if I can tell you exactly what they said. Oh, I thought I grabbed him, but I didn't grab him. But yeah, it was just like, don't come out tonight, because if you come out of your house tonight, this is what I'm going to do to you. This is what I'm going to, and spelled it out. You spelled it out. And he was like, oh, I have it. I found it. I'll tell you exactly what it said. It says, one of them says, I can't wait for time there. I can't wait for time. They unalive you and your 3 kids. Jezree is mad, whoever that is. Jezree, don't go outside by yourself tomorrow because you will not see your kids. Be effing ready for me, BITCH. I'm going to F you up real effing bad. And tomorrow, watch and see. Whoever this person is. So, no idea what is going on. And I guess maybe that's his wife and saying that she will not be seeing her kids no more. But he's all over it. He got private investigators, everybody on it. And they'll figure it out. Hopefully they'll figure it out.
Oh, okay. I ain't see that one.
Yeah. So anyway, that's all I had tonight. I've been on it, Harlem. I've been on it. I've been finding some content. So thank y'all. I wanted to apologize for abruptly getting off the live the other night. If anybody was here other than Harlem in Montana that knows what's going on, but I apologize for that. And then I had to miss a couple of days because of it. But thank y'all for coming back and understanding that when life happens, life be lifing out here. And you just gotta go. My family's first. And so that it was my family. I would never abandon y'all like that. But it was my family. So thank y'all for understanding. I appreciate that. Harlem, I hope you feel better soon. Get over that cold. And so you can get on top of your research, girl. Get us the content. I've been looking at my emails. Whoa, no emails. What? No emails. I got to get on my job. So anyway.
Sorry.
No, but for real, I will hope you take care of yourself so you can feel better. Thank you, Montana. He said we definitely understand. I do appreciate that. I appreciate that, y'all. So anyway, glad to be back tonight. Y'all just pray for my family if you are a praying person. And I'll pray for you. You pray for me, and we're gonna be all right. We're gonna be all right. We will be right back here tomorrow. I do have an interview out here. So listen, Instagram. On my Instagram, I was headed to like 9K. 8K, something like that. I got hacked. So we got it built up, got everything situated. Then I got hacked again, and my bank account got hacked. I don't know how, because I don't put my information out there, right? So then now I've been trying to build it back up, find my people where they went, so I could build it back up. But it was allowing me to go live. Well, I do some of my interviews from my PR people that send me interviews, right? Over on Instagram. Went out there to go live the other night on an interview, and it said we have updated until if you do not have 1,000 followers, I'm at like 700 something, then you cannot no longer go live. Did not know they changed that. So I say that to say, if y'all have not followed me on Instagram, Black Link Mag, it's with the glass, because there's a few of them out there, but it's the one with the glass with my logo in the glass. Please follow me on Instagram as well, Black Link Mag, so I can get my 1,000 up so we can also go live from here and Instagram at the same time. Harlem, they're saying get well soon. Thank you, beauty. Same for you.
And you never tried to see how the TikTok works?
I will. So here's my thought. I have an interview tomorrow. So I was thinking, do I send him to TikTok and try it? Or do I just go do the Zoom and do live on Facebook? Because I really want to try TikTok. I don't know what's wrong with me and TikTok, but my friend just started doing it, and she's a few from being monetized that quick on TikTok.
Yeah, it doesn't take long.
Quick. So I was like, maybe I'm in the wrong place, but I would never leave YouTube. I'm saying that I'll never say never, but I really like YouTube, and we do well over here as well. But I might try TikTok because I don't know if I can go live on TikTok and YouTube at the same time. But I'm thinking I can. I don't know about that. I don't know about TikTok. So anyway, I'm going to have an interview tomorrow. And then after that interview, I will be live. So it'll be a little bit later, but I will be live tomorrow to follow up on the Cardi B stuff. And so if you guys didn't watch it and you're interested, go over and watch it tonight on Court TV. And then also catch up tomorrow at 12 because we'll come right back here and talk about it tomorrow, and then other things as well. So if you have nothing else, Harlem, again, y'all, thank you for coming tonight. And I hope that y'all have a blessed night, and we'll come back and see us tomorrow. What you got, Harlem?
No, I don't have anything else. Mm-mm.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys again, and I shall see y'all tomorrow. It's easy to go live on TikTok. Okay, beauty is me. I'm going to try it. I'm going to go live tonight just to talk about anything, just to get a feel of it. All right, y'all. Bye.
Good night, y'all.
Good night.